Okay, so let's get into it. You had 10 years in the role of Snape, who gave me chills far worse than you know who. How did that film role come about for you?
I was asked to do it. I went and had dinner with Chris Columbus and David Heyman, and the three of us sort of corporately said, okay, then let's.
Did you have any doubts or second thoughts about taking on the role?
Well, the difficult, if it was a difficulty, was that, of course, when we started it, Jo Rowling had only written 3 of them, and I was playing the character where you had no idea where it was going. So that was tricky. It was clearly he had an agenda. You just had no idea what it was.
Did she know when you became involved where he would go, or was she?
Yeah. Jo knew everything, and I think it's true to say that she had put the ending into a safe right back then. She knew how it would finish.
Did she tip you off about where Snape would ultimately...
well, she didn't. I mean, there's a lot of speculation about this. Before I said I would do it, I said I have to talk to her. And I rang her, and she was with her sister at the time. She said, I can't talk now. So that's how much she kept it all to herself. She said, we'll talk tomorrow. And then we spoke the next day, and she gave me one small piece of information that was just a very small, and it certainly wasn't, and this will happen, and then that will happen, and this is how it finishes. I never knew any of that. But it was a small piece of information that let me know that there was more to him than met the eye.
Can you share what that was?
No. So I promised her I never would.
Okay.
And I never have.
Before filming of the first film was underway, did you or Jo or the director Chris Columbus have ideas for how to play Snape that were different from where the performance ultimately ended up?
Filming is a bizarre medium, you know. There's never any rehearsal. It's always about the product, or often about the product, and not very often is there time for rehearsal. So a lot of decisions, and that can be a good thing. It means that there's not too much thinking. You have to just do it. And I think with Harry Potter, a lot of it was just about people just commit and don't think about it too much. I was very involved in the costume and the look.
What did you want for it?
I was very specific about it. I said the sleeves should be really tight and there should be a lot of buttons. Because that helps me, the idea that he has to do that. It's actually buttoned in. And you know, it's very different. If you've got a sleeve that finishes there, that's very different to a sleeve that finishes there. So it was very important to me that that's where it finished. And then buttons were tight up there. Maggie and I are having holding a wand is not the most threatening thing. And pointing it at Dame Maggie Smith, you know, you've grown up worshipping from the cheap seats at the National Theatre. And she's pointing it at you. And she can arch an eyebrow like nobody. So thank God for the sheets of flame. No, very cathartic on all sorts of levels. Then seeing Dan and Rupert and Emma, and that's 10 years where you watched people go from 12 to 22.
Was there ever a point in the unfolding of the 8-movie series where you ever considered not continuing in the role of Snape?
No, I wasn't going to let anybody else finish that story. No.